Okay, children, quickly refresh as to what I have to teach. We are seeing the chapter cell. Can you just tell me where I have to start with today? What is that we studied last class? I think we studied about the membranes and then plasma membranes, isotonic solution, that only, no? Isotonic, hypotonic. Excuse me. You should be able to rename now, so please change the name. Yeah, I gave homeworks also. I saw some of them submitting it. Today I will check and then I'll revert back. Okay, so today, so we have completed two parts. What are the two parts that we have completed? One, we have completed your plasma membrane. Then we have completed cytoplasm. We have completed cell wall also, no? Mm? Yes, so we have completed plasma membrane, cell wall, and then we have completed protoplasm, and then we have completed cytoplasm. All these things are over. So now we are going to get into a new area which is called as nucleus. Okay, so we are seeing this chapter cell. And then we have completed these concepts. Now we will move on to nucleus. So let me try to tell you what a nucleus is. If you are going to have any cell, you will have in the center of the cell or somewhere in the cell a structure, okay, which is spherical usually, which will contain what we call it as genetic material. Okay, that is not protein. Wait a minute. Let me explain you so that you will understand it better. So please understand, all organisms will have something called as a genetic material. What is the meaning of genetic material? The information for a cell to function. Okay, so the information for a cell to function is given there in this genetic material. This genetic material will vary from organisms to organism. Okay, so normally the genetic material is what we call it as DNA. Normally, the genetic material is what we call it as DNA. So this DNA is the genetic material. What is the full form of this DNA? The DNA's full form is deoxyribonucleic acid. What is it? It is just a chemical structure, which is the information. Okay. So this information, this deoxyribonucleic acid is our genetic material. It is there. So say for example, if I am looking like whatever I am looking like. Okay. So say for example, Shivraj is a person. Shivraj is looking like someone. I am looking like myself. Why is that I am looking like myself? It is because my DNA is trying to make me like that way. Okay. So say for example, there is someone called a Subbu Lakshman here in this class, or someone called Deekshna in class, or else we have this Suvanika Shri here in this class. The last three messages were sent by these three people. So these three people are looking in a particular way because they are all having DNA in their body or in their cells, which is making them look like themselves. Your father is looking like he has a different DNA content in his body. Your mother is looking different because she is having a very different content in her body. Like this, what is that we are trying to tell is, whatever I'm trying to tell is, this DNA is the genetic material. Okay, this DNA is what we call it as genetic material for the organism. So where is this DNA is present? This DNA is present inside an organelle which is called as nucleus. Okay, in your body you are having cells. Inside your cells, okay, you have a particular region which is called as nucleus, in which you have this genetic material which is DNA. Okay, so this genetic material which is DNA is there. It is located inside the nucleus. So if you're going to take any cell in your body, any cell with nucleus will have this genetic material inside it. So say for example, my nose is having cells. The nose cell will have nucleus, and then inside that nose cell, uh, inside the nucleus, you have this genetic material. So someone is asking me, Kavya is asking me a question, sir, is the DNA structure present in the cell? Yes, this DNA structure is present inside the cell. Okay, and then Adarsh is asking a question. Are nucleus and the brain connected? Brain is a tissue. Okay, we'll study about it. Brain is a tissue or an organ. Brain is made up of many tissues. And then brain is an organ. So which means, what is the brain made up of? The brain is made up of cells. Okay. So these two are not connected. In fact, the brain itself is a product of what? Cells. Are you guys able to understand? Brain is an organ which is made up of many cells, and inside the cell you have the nucleus. Brain is like almost like a building. Cells are like almost like what? The building blocks. Okay. And then inside the cell, what is that you have? Inside the cell, you have the nucleus. Okay. So we will not study about who discovered DNA and all those things now. Those are all things like we will be studying later. So you don't have to write this thing. This is just to teach you. So you just listen to me for a while, and then like after I will try to tell you what is the thing. How is our body making, moving and all, we'll study it later. Now, as of now, we'll try to study about the cell. Okay. So everything cannot be taught in a single day. So let us try to study about something which is related to the cell. So if you're talking about nucleus, I'll draw the structure. Please draw the structure of the nucleus. Wait a minute. So you can start taking the diagram. I'm just drawing a cycle with gaps, circle with gaps. You please draw this diagram. I'm not talking anything as of now. Okay, so don't think that your connection is bad and all. Okay, so this is the structure of nucleus. Quickly take it down. Okay, so listen here. Now I'm going to explain. So you please now note it down. I mean, like, don't have to note it down. I'll write it separately. You can copy it there. Okay. So first, you see here, whatever you are seeing is the structure called as nucleus. Okay. So this entire nucleus is covered by a membrane. This yellow color structure that I have drawn is called as the nuclear membrane. Okay, so you can write the first point here. The first point is nucleus is called the controlling center of the cell. Okay, so it is called as the controlling center of the cell or brain of the cell. What is the meaning of brain of cell? So how for body brain is very important. That is the thinking part. The same way in a cell, which is going to be the thinking part. The thinking part is going to be your nucleus, or the information which is going to be there is in the nucleus. So that is like going to control everyone. Yeah, controller of the cell. Your hands you are able to move and all. How it is you are able to move, that is because of the functioning of the brain. You are able to think, that is because of brain. So similarly, the cell is functioning because of the nucleus. Okay, so this is the first point. Now the second point, what does it contain? Contains the genetic information for the functioning of the cell. The information is present in the form of chromatin fibers. Okay, they contain DNA. Okay, so here I have drawn the structures called as chromatin fibers. Actually, it is inside the chromatin fibers. You will see it is not like the chromatin fiber itself is made up of water. It is made up of DNA. Okay, so you please understand that chromatin fiber is almost like a ball of thread. Okay, so it is like almost like a ball of thread, or like it is like kind of a bigger packed version of a thread. Okay, so let me try to take here to the next slide, and then I'll try to teach you. No, okay, let me not add a slide here. I'll try to teach it here itself. Okay, so you see the DNA is there. Let us say that this is the DNA. This DNA, if it is getting packed, it will become like, let us say that this DNA is like kind of like packed closely. Okay, let us say that this is the fibers. Okay, so when the DNA is getting packed, what will you get? You will get chromatin fibers. Are we able to understand? So basically, your DNA is, when it is packed, we call it as what? Chromatin fibers. When chromatin fibers further get packed, what we call it as? We call it as chromosomes. We call it as chromosomes. So all these things are same. The DNA, okay, the chromatin fibers, the chromosomes are all same only, but it is like kind of like one is packed, one is not packed. One is tightly packed, one is like moderately packed, the other one is like loosely packed. Are we guys able to understand? So this is the point that I wanted to tell. What is this point is trying to tell you? This point is trying to tell you that nucleus contains genetic information for the functioning of the cell. The information is present in the form of chromatin fibers. The chromatin fibers will contain the DNA. Okay. So now the third point. Nucleus is filled with the liquid called as nucleoplasm. What does nucleoplasm means? Nucleoplasm means the fluid which is present inside the nucleus. Okay, so this red color structure that I have drawn is the nucleoplasm. So you please write this point. Yes, are you guys done? Okay, so now we'll move on. The next point. There are openings in the nucleus that are called what? Nuclear pore. So here you are able to see these openings. These openings are called as what? Nuclear pore. Okay, that opening, that small opening is called as nuclear pore. Okay. And then you have the structure which I have shown here, this blue color structure is called as nucleolus. Okay. So now we'll study about nucleolus. So then this is the fourth point, I think. The 3 points, this is the fourth point. And the fifth point, the nucleus contain dark bodies called as nucleolus that is responsible for producing ribosomes. Okay, you have a cell organelle which is called as ribosomes. Okay, so these ribosomes are a part of cell organelle. So this, what is this cell? What is this? Prajeet Khanna, I don't want you to do this thing. I am explaining. Please listen to me. Please don't cut, copy, paste, and then please don't ask the same question again and again. I am trying to explain whatever you have asked. You please listen, and then I'll answer that question. Okay. So please be patient. I'm just explaining about nucleolus. You're asking a question, what will happen if the cell does not have the nucleolus? I am just explaining the role of nucleolus. Please first understand. Yes, I will show all the slides at the end of the thing. So please listen to me. And then like I don't want people to cut, copy, paste and then ask the same question again and again and again. I am able to see your comments. I will respond to you. So the nucleus contains dark bodies that are called as nucleolus. What is that nucleolus is going to do? These nucleolus are responsible for producing a structure which is called as ribosomes. So you have a cell organelle which is called as ribosome. We will study what is ribosome after this thing. Okay. So please understand what is this particular nucleolus. What is the role of this nucleolus? The nucleolus is going to produce ribosomes. Okay. So if nucleolus is not there, what will happen? Ribosomes will not be produced properly. Are we able to understand? What is ribosome? I will tell you. Ribosome is one type of cell organelle. So we are today completing what? Nucleus is over. So again, like we have like this, like we will be studying about many organelles. One such organelle is what we call it as ribosome. So what is the role of this nucleolus? This nucleolus is going to produce ribosomes. Are we able to understand? So does it answer your question, Prajit Khanna? What will happen if nucleolus is not there? What will not be produced properly? If nucleolus is not there, what will not happen? The ribosome will not be produced properly. Yeah, right. Very good. So with the thing, nucleus is over. Okay. So now we'll go for ribosomes. The ribosomes are called as the protein factory. Okay, we'll not write it as our cell because it can be any cell of the cell. Okay, lipids are not produced in ribosomes. Okay, please don't confuse yourself. Only proteins are made in ribosomes. It is only the protein which is made in ribosome. So lipids are not made in ribosomes. The ribosomes are called as the protein factory of the cell. They are the places, they are the organelles where proteins are manufactured. Proteins are produced in a cell. Yes, both the cells, even bacteria, virus, bacteria will have, virus will not have. Bacteria, smaller organisms will also have ribosomes. Plant cells, animal cells, every cell will have ribosomes. Okay. They are scattered in the cell normally. They get attached to the endoplasmic reticulum when they want to produce protein. When they produce protein. Viruses have RNA, they can have DNA also, Kavya. Okay, so let me just explain it to you. But before explaining, like I'll also write one more point about ribosome. Okay, they are made up of two subunits. Okay, virus will not have nucleolus. Virus will not have nucleus. Virus is a very different kind of cell. You don't think about viruses now. Okay, virus is not generally considered as a thing. I mean, like a living creature only. It is like half living, half non-living. It's a very different case. After finishing this lesson, you will know it. You just have to wait till the end. They are made up of two subunits. The larger subunit and the smaller subunit. Okay, so now let me explain it to you. What is this ribosome? If you're going to see, no, like you are having this cell. This cell is going to have nucleus. Associated with the nucleus, you have an organelle which is called as endoplasmic reticulum. This is the endoplasmic reticulum. And in the center, you have something called as what? Nucleus. The ribosomes will all be scattered outside. Okay. So this ribosome is made up of two subunits. So you will have one subunit and you have another subunit which is there like this. So let us say that this is there. This will all be scattered like this. So these two things joined together will form what we call it as a single ribosome. Okay. So this larger subunit and this is the smaller subunit. So these two things will be like kind of joined together to form a ribosome. So almost you imagine that it is like a mixie and a jar separately. How do you see a mixie and a jar in your house? Are they kept together always, or are they separate always? You will see that they are separated always. Okay, you will keep a mixie at one place and jar at one place. Whenever you want to grind something, what you will try to do, you will try to take the jar, you will try to put the materials inside it, you will try to attach to the mixie, and then like you will try to mix it up. After the mixing up is over, like you separate them again. In the same way, this larger subunit and the smaller subunit will be like kind of separate. Whenever you need to produce proteins, these two things will get associated. And this is the place where it will try to get associated. Where is the place it will try to get attached with the endoplasmic reticulum? Like this. Okay. And then it will try to produce the protein. And once the protein is produced, what it will try to do is it will try to leave. Are we able to understand? So I'm just explaining the points here once again. The ribosomes are called as what in our body? They are the protein factory in our body. That is the place where what is going to be produced? Protein is going to be produced. They are the organelles where proteins are produced. Proteins are produced in this particular thing, in this area. Okay, so they are all scattered in the cell normally. Where are they present? They are all scattered. Who are they? The ribosomes are scattered. They get attached to what? The endoplasmic reticulum. When they produce a protein. Whenever they want to produce a protein, they will attach to the endoplasmic reticulum. Okay. The ribosomes are made up of two subunits. What are they? The larger subunit and the smaller subunit. Are we able to understand? Okay. Have you done this thing? Have you written it? Can we move on further? The next thing that we will be producing is the next thing. I have written it. Okay, so we have completed ribosome now. So now we'll move on to the next organelle. I have introduced a new term for now, endoplasmic reticulum. We'll study about endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, so now the next organelle that we'll be studying is what? We'll study about endoplasmic reticulum. They are membranous structures So the membrane, they are like endoplasmic reticulum are membrane-like structures that are found in the cell. I'll explain about them. Just give me some time. There are two types of endoplasmic reticulum. One is called as rough endoplasmic reticulum. We call it as RER. And the second one is what we call it as the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, which we call it as SER. Okay, if you're going to talk about endoplasmic reticulum, there are membrane-like structures that are found in cell. There are two types of endoplasmic reticulum. One is your rough endoplasmic reticulum, and the other one is what we call it as the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Okay. The RER has ribosomes attached to it. And they produce proteins. Okay. Okay, and the next slide is like I'll try to explain this, give me some time. The SER do not contain ribosomes, and they produce lipids or fats. So children, listen here. I'll just explain it using this diagram. Okay. So please understand, you have this rough endoplasmic reticulum will look like this. These are all like membrane tubular structures that you'll be seeing throughout the cell. So you'll be like seeing like this kind of structure throughout. This is your endoplasmic reticulum. The endoplasmic reticulum will be like lots of membranes which are making there. Okay. So if you're seeing this endoplasmic reticulum, there are some endoplasmic reticulum which is associated with this ribosomes. Let me say that this is the ribosomes. So throughout the endoplasmic reticulum, there will be many ribosomes which are attached. And then it is going to be producing what? Proteins. So since it is looking like somewhat like kind of a very rough structure, we call it as a rough endoplasmic reticulum. So if you're seeing, this is what is like with this blue color dot which I'm trying to put is the ribosome, and this blue color dot is like present throughout. This is what we call it as rough endoplasmic reticulum. Whereas here, like I am not having any such thing, so this will be called as the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Whenever it is associated with the rough endoplasmic reticulum, I mean like whenever it is associated with the ribosome, we call the endoplasmic reticulum as rough endoplasmic reticulum. And what will this rough endoplasmic reticulum will produce? Since it is attached with the ribosomes, it will be like responsible for producing proteins. So what they are doing, it is not the place where proteins are produced, but it is like kind of like helping for the protein production. Okay. Whereas what will be produced here by the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, the smooth endoplasmic reticulum walls itself will be capable of producing what we call it as lipids or fats. The endoplasmic reticulum is kind of a membrane structure where your ribosome is attached. So they are involved in protein production. So, and your smooth endoplasmic reticulum will be producing what? It will be producing lipids or fat. Are we able to understand? Okay, so that is what I am trying to explain here. So what is that I have mentioned? Endoplasmic reticulum are membrane-like structures that are found in the cell. Okay, there are two types of endoplasmic reticulum. One is what we call it as the rough endoplasmic reticulum, and the other one is what we call it as smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, the rough endoplasmic reticulum has ribosomes attached to it. Okay, so they will produce proteins. And the smooth endoplasmic reticulum do not contain ribosomes and they produce lipids or fats. So what is that thing? Okay, someone is asking me, Rajkumar is asking me like what is lipid? So listen here, uh, we are all made up of three major components. One is carbohydrate. The second one is protein. And the third one is fats. We eat only these three things. And whatever we are eating, we will become that particular thing. So say for example, a person who's eating lots of oil and all, no? Oil, meat and all, that person will become fat. So when the fat is like there, your body has fat. Everyone's body has fat. Okay. So that fat is otherwise called as lipids. Your body is made up of cells. Okay. Which means if you are fat, what is the meaning of it? Your cell is producing fat and that particular fat is kind of like stored in a cell and then it is making you fat. Let us say that we are talking about a person who's like kind of obese. He has been strongly eating lots of like cakes, burgers, pizzas, okay, all junk food if he's eating. If he's eating junk food, what will happen? Naturally, he will become obese. When he is becoming obese, what is the meaning of it? He's having lots of fat. Where is this fat coming from? He's eating food. And whatever he's eating as food is trying to become himself. If suppose I'm eating too much of samosas, pizzas, ice creams, all sugary items, okay, and oily items, fried food, then what will happen? My body will break down those substances and it will try to build my body and I will become obese. Okay, what is that me becoming obese? Basically, my cells are becoming obese. Okay, how will I become as a person? I will become obese. I have to get lots of cells in my body. I have to get lots of fats in my body so that my cells will start to produce. Like your every cell is responsible for building up your body and breaking down your body. Okay, so which means like what I'm trying to tell is whatever you're eating will be converted into a fat or a protein according to your requirement or a carbohydrate. Suppose I'm eating potato. The potato will be broken down in my body and it will be helping to build my body in the way my body requires. Okay. So when rebuilding, you need to produce carbohydrates, you need to produce proteins, you need to reproduce fats and lipids. So in a cell who is responsible for producing the fats or lipids, it is the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Are you able to understand? So it is not just your body which is functioning, it is the cell which is functioning. So inside every cell, carbohydrate is produced. Inside every cell, protein is produced. Inside every cell, fat or lipids are produced. Inside every cell, carbohydrate is broken down. Whatever food that you're eating, that carbohydrate is broken down. Inside every cell, the proteins are like whatever after digestion, your amino acids are broken down in your body. fats are broken down and it is rebuilt according to your need. Okay. So while rebuilding, who is responsible for rebuilding the fats or proteins, fats or lipids? Cells. Which part of the cell is going to reproduce or produce lipids or fats? Which part of the cell will produce fat? Yes, the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, SER. Okay. Which part will produce the proteins? Which part is responsible for producing protein? The rough endoplasmic reticulum will be responsible for producing protein. Are we guys able to understand? We are not talking about cells, we are talking about cell organelles. We'll try to study about carbohydrates also. Just give some time. Next class we'll study. Okay. So the homework for this week. The homework for this week, the first thing that I want you to tell is Thursday, coming Thursday, worksheet in Learnity will be available. Okay. So there is something called as Learnity. Okay. You will all be given a user ID password. We will create a user ID and password. And then what we will try to do is we will try to give you some worksheet will be assigned in Learnity. Okay. So depending on your thing, I mean like admission detail, like we will provide you with the user ID password based on whatever, what topic the worksheet will be. The worksheet will be based on whatever I have taught till now. So today we have studied till this one. So in the cell chapter, we can have a worksheet. Okay. I'll give you a worksheet with say like 10 or 15 MCQs. Worksheet. Okay. So you will be like having a worksheet on this particular thing. This worksheet will be given in Learnity. You will be provided an ID. If you are not able to get your ID, please contact your respective coordinators. They will be providing you with your ID. Okay. So this week's assignment, I'm just going to give it on Thursday. Thursday, you will have a worksheet ready for you. Are we clear? Okay, now I'll show you all the slide. You can just take it down in case if you want to. First slide. Second slide. Third slide. Fourth slide. Fifth slide. Sixth slide. Seventh slide. 8th slide. And 9th slide. Thank you, children. Thank you very much. Sir Ranjit sir, the class is done.
Okay, sir. Thank you. So students, next class will be at 11 o'clock. Thank you.